Okay, so we just got done making the video on the small candy canes that I make, and now I'm going to show you my gigantic jumbos. And the last video was interrupted by a phone call, therefore I took the phone and I opened my window and flung it about 200 feet. Haha, just kidding, but I did put the phone in the other room. Okay, I don't like having anything or anybody interrupt me during my crafts, and the only reason I keep a phone in here is because my mother is elderly, and you know, you never know. So I want to make sure that she can always reach me. Um, okay, so here we go. We've got the large candy cane, and it's the same thing as far as covering these as it is of covering the small ones, except obviously you're on a larger scale. So what you need is about 3.5 2-inch wide by 2-yard long strips of homespun fabric to do these. So basically, if you bought about a little bit more than 1/4 of a yard, let's say you bought 1/3 of a yard at 2 yards long, okay, you'd be able to cover 2.5 to 3 of these large candy canes. So that's how you have to kind of figure out, if you have these, how you would figure out how much material you need to cover them. So, and here's the end. I'll show you what the end looks like. The end is, it's a hollow PVC tube, basically, is what it is. So what you want to do is, like in this case here, I'll show you the other end. You want to leave enough fabric so that you can put some glue along the inside edge of that piping, and then just fold the fabric over onto the glue. And once you do that, it will look like that and pretty neat. And then you would have your completed candy cane. These are so huge, I almost just pulled it off of the table here. Okay, so you've got your candy cane done, it's wrapped, the ends are glued, now you're going to decorate it. So I got this greenery. The greenery is I have a big giant garbage bag of stems with this greenery on it, and even a thinner greenery that I use for other things. So I just take 2 little sprigs, and I'm going to place those sprigs. You see where the end of the curved part is here, go straight across and then maybe down a little bit. And that's where the base of the greenery will be glued. Okay, so I'm going to get the greenery in place, but I'm not going to glue it as of yet, because I'm going to take a piece of this jute, maybe about 1.5 feet long, and I'm going to put it underneath the candy cane. Hopefully you can see me there. And I'm going to put the greenery in place. As a matter of fact, I'm going to glue it in place. I'm going to put a little dab of glue, and I'm going to put my greenery down on that dab of glue. I'll let it sit there for a couple of seconds. Basically, I'll just bring up my jute to hold it in place and make a knot. Nice and tight. Make a bow. Alright, and your greenery is attached. If I can show that to you. My goodness. Alright, let me just pick this up and show it to you. Okay, the greenery is attached there. And here are the bag of Rusty Bells that I was telling you about before. They're about 1 inch in diameter. And we're going to put one right there. And how I do it is by taking a piece of the jute and sticking it through the hole of the bell. And if that's difficult to do, because sometimes the jute has a really frayed end, and I'll just tie a little knot. See how that one's all frayed? I wouldn't have been able to put that through the hole. If you have a problem putting it through the hole, get a seam ripper. That's what I use, is a seam ripper, and put it through the hole that way, you know, and then I'll make a double knot, fix the bow a little bit, and once again, nothing in primitive decorating is perfect. And so there you have it. You've got a little bit of jute hanging down, you've got your jingle bell, and you've got your big homespun candy cane. Similar to the smaller candy cane, just in a lot larger of a size. And all you need is a glue gun, a box of little glue sticks, a pair of tweezers if you feel you need it to turn in those ends, so that you don't burn your fingers. Pair of scissors to cut off your extra as you're going down. You're going to find you're going to do about this much and a strip is going to end. You're going to need to cut off, to stop that strip, start another strip, go a little further down, and then you're going to need a little bit more of another strip to complete to the bottom, okay? And so that's why you need about 2.5 strips to do one of these candy canes. And what do you do after that is get your greenery ready. Any kind of greenery will do. I think I have enough. I've got a big bag of them, and I only have 37 of these large candy canes. And if you need more greenery, go back to the thrift store. There's usually always somebody there that's throwing out an old wreath or an old Christmas tree or anything that you can use the little ends on. I mean, it's all about recycling today. Today's economy is rough. So it's all about recycling, and these are the types of beautiful things that can be made and sold. And what do I charge? I charge $7 for my large candy canes. And I explain that in another video, in my craft room video and when I speak of my candy canes, why I charge so little for them, and why I can still make money on them. And that's the whole idea. That's what I'm here for. I am here to share the news and the information that I have learned over the years on. You don't have to go to a craft show and try to charge people to the point where they just walk away shaking their head from your booth. Because you know what you're going to end up doing? Carrying home 37 candy canes, 981 smaller candy canes, signs made of heavy wood. You're going to carry everything, all those big jumbo eggs. You're going to end up carrying them all back home with you because why? You charge too much money. Don't try to charge for your time. Don't try to charge for your passion. It's never going to work. Your time and your passion is already paid for it's like going to a spa, coming in your craft room and relaxing to either hearing the rain outside or listening to a CD with the music that you like, or watching an old movie while you're doing your crafts. I mean, there's sometimes I can zone out in here for 8 hours straight if I'm not watching myself. But that's the payment you get, is the relaxation and the enjoyability. You got to enjoy what you do. So I hope you had fun watching this video. It's all about the fun. And I hope you make large candy canes, homespun, for your next craft show.